Question, raise your hand, we'll get the wireless microphone to you.
Rick, obviously Lamont Butler did not play a couple weeks ago when you guys played him. Just how does he change the way they play defensively and just the entire dynamic there?
Well, he's really good defensively, but also he gives them that. I mean, he's their best downhill driver and a guy that experience been around. I love the way he plays. You know, I really do. And I hate that he got hurt again because those shoulders are hard to deal with this time of year, especially when you're at the point where you're getting hit a lot. I just hate that for him and for them. But he's a difference maker because he's tough, hard-nosed, can affect the game on both ends.
From your perspective, Rick, what went wrong that final 4.5 minutes?
You know what? It's way too many defensive breakdowns on our part. Give Kentucky credit, they did it, but we had way too many defensive breakdowns on things that you can't do there at the end of the game. And then I thought offensively we had a few guys that got too emotional, didn't make really good decisions on the offensive end, but I don't want to say anything to take away from Kentucky. Mark's done a great job with his group, and we were right where we needed to be, and didn't make enough winning plays on either end of the court.
Coach, over here, what would you like to see from your team defensively, guarding the three-point line differently after struggling again?
Well, they're going to shoot enough threes, and I'm not. Again, the threes didn't beat us. I'm going to tell you, I've played in games where we won games with guys that made 20 threes. It's the other penetration. You know, you let their bench come in and impact the game in a big way. That can't happen, but it did. And we've talked enough about it. They got guys that can shoot the ball, and I mean, I asked the question: the guys we expect to shoot it, why aren't we making ours? Because we had some great looks at it. So you give them credit for making the shots, but with all those threes going in, they're going to score. That's what they do. I mean, you expect them to shoot it, but you can't give them the other things that we gave up tonight along with that.
Rick, down the middle here. How do you handle the ebbs and flows of this conference when you know you've got a good team, but you're going to lose games?
Well, you know, it is what it is, and how you handle it is whether or not you judge yourself on whether you felt you played well. And you know, I thought it was a kind of game. We, again, with them playing well, doing what they're doing, we had it. I think we were at 58-55, I think, somewhere there, and then we didn't finish the game well, and give them credit for that. But I think, I don't know how everybody else thinks. I mean, we go on a court, we expect to win, but we know that, like you said, it's the best league in the country, maybe ever. I mean, it's ridiculous, to be honest with you, but the good thing about it, everything's a quad in one game, and it helps you, obviously, if you win, and if you don't, it probably doesn't hurt you as badly as it can in some leagues when you lose games, but it's an incredible league, and I'm proud of it. You know, 10 years ago, it was awful, and where we are today is amazing, and I think it's a compliment to a lot of different people to get it to this point, and I don't see it going backwards too much either.
Second row, then John and Ryan again.
Rick, you guys entered today's game #1 in the country in field goal percentage defense and three-point percentage defense, and your two worst performances in that department this year have been against Kentucky. Is it something that they do that give you guys fits, or is it just as simple as them just hitting shots?
Again, I thought they played well tonight. And again, I think we played. I was really disappointed at home because we didn't play with the effort it takes to win. Tonight, I thought we played with the effort, but we didn't play very smart. We made some of the same mistakes in terms of personnel, but again, give them credit. They, we know they're going to shoot it, and you hope that, like anybody, that when you come into, when you get some looks at it, you can make some of them to negate some of that. We did tonight with the fact that we only made 3 tonight and they made 12. We were still right there, and really it was probably because of our defense. And but the fact is, they're capable of doing this, and we haven't put together all year long enough games where we've guarded well enough and shot the ball well enough. And but again, we were there, we had a chance, but we just didn't finish it.
Rick, in the back.
Give them credit for it. Yeah.
Sorry. In the back here, a lot of frustration down the stretch. You alluded to it a little bit, but where did that frustration come from, execution-wise?
You know, some of it is, some of these guys haven't been in situations like this, a little bit of it, but by now, with as many games as we've played, I can't buy that, to be honest with you. I think it goes back to individual guys. We know our guys, and we know we got some guys that are pretty cool, calm. Some guys we know get a little bit too emotional and kind of zone out at the wrong times. I mean, I think every team I've coached, there's been different personalities like that, but it can't happen at that time. I can only tell you that. I mean, when you work hard enough to get yourself in position to win on the road against anybody in this league, the mental part of it, you've got to take care of it, and that's on both the offensive end and the defensive end. The breakdowns that we had in the last 10 points they scored were, I mean, they made a couple of shots, but it was our execution, really.
Saw 4 more hands up. Ryan, then the front row, 3rd row in the end, then Reese to wrap it up.
Rick, seemed like a clear emphasis to take less threes in the first game. Were you kind of happy where y'all settled out there?
No, that was what we said. We were going to take them on our terms, and that was, we wanted to drive, play inside out, still wanted to shoot it. I thought we did take a couple of tough twos in the first half, but no, we were, again, I don't have a problem with us shooting 35 threes if they're on our terms. I really don't, and our team doesn't. But the fact is, we wanted to put the ball inside more, and we had chances to do it, and we didn't do it enough. But the biggest thing there, they didn't have to guard us at all down there. We would just come down, not even pass the ball and shoot, and they were in position to rebound the ball. So we tried to get more movement and make them guard a little bit, because at our place they didn't have to guard us at all. We just self-checked ourselves.
Coach Barnes, what does it do for this team when Amari Williams can do what he does, is kind of playing a point center at times? After Lamont Butler goes out, he's the one bringing the ball off the floor. He's helping initiate the offense. What is it going to do for this Kentucky team when he can do that, especially when they're dealing with injuries?
Well, again, I think it's where, Mark's done a good job. He looks very comfortable doing that. That's what he does, and we played against that the whole time down there, and that's part of this. When guys go out, you go back to our game with Florida. We had 2 starters out. Guys stepped up and played. I mean, that's what happens sometimes, but the fact is, I think Mark's system is very sound. I think he's put all his guys in position where they can excel, and when there are 5 out actions they run, he likes to get up there. And if you don't keep enough pressure on him, it's like a quarterback in football just getting to stand back there all day, and he's a good enough passer. He can pick you apart and do those type things. But again, I give credit to Mark and his system for putting his guys where they need to be.
Rick, Kentucky's defense has been a little bit maligned at times this season, but since the first time that you scouted them a couple of weeks ago, have you seen changes or things they've done to take a step up there?
Yeah, I thought they played hard tonight. I really did. I think that there's a lot of different ways to play defense. Some people like to really sag back in there and encourage you to shoot it quickly and say, hey, you're going to have to shoot a jump shot, whatever. Some people play high-level personnel where they're just going to stay with certain guys. So there's a lot of different ways to play, and our style is, we're going to try to be more dictative where we can do what we think we can do. And for the most part, it's worked for us. Not all the time, obviously. It didn't for 40 minutes tonight, but I think that I think what you're asking me, if I think Kentucky's gotten better, I do. I think they've gotten better all around with everything, and which you would expect from a coach that knows what he's doing and a staff that knows what he's doing. I think we're better. I think we're better than we were 3 weeks ago, but and I think we can get better if we're willing to learn from our mistakes and learn to control some emotion at the right time. But again, it's consistency. I've seen some teams play harder certain times and then they let down. One thing I've learned in this business is you can't coach the other teams. You can't, because you're not with them every day. You don't know about injuries. You don't know what they had to do to get prepared for the game. But I'm impressed with what Mark's done since the 2 times that we played against him.
Last one from Reese.
Coach, how have you seen Igor get more comfortable in the offense recently?
Well, again, I think he should be comfortable, but again, I think he's got to still slow down when he starts playing by himself. There, we don't know what he's doing sometimes, and he's the guy that we need to be the most consistent guy on the court, both offensively and defensively. We need him to be consistent, where what we can count on every single night. And I think, again, he's going to get better. You know, we're down to 7 or 8 games, and then we postseason. So there's a lot of time to improve, and we need every one of our guys on our team to get better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Anyone who needs Tennessee players?